Have you ever found yourself in a situation where everything just seems to click? Where whether it's the people around you or your responsibilities, things fall into place? That sums up Malik Monk's time with the Sacramento Kings so far. Since joining the Kings, Monk has played the best basketball of his career. Though so far this season, he's taken it to another level offensively. I'm going to take a deeper dive into Monk's game and highlight why he appears to have taken another leap offensively so far this season. Entering the NBA, Monk had a reputation as a big time scorer. That's been on display with the Kings, as in the past 2 seasons, he's been one of the NBA's most prolific scorers off the bench. So far this year has been his most impressive to date, as he's averaging a career best 16 points a game while showing improved efficiency from the past 2 seasons. One huge reason for this is the growth he's made in pick and roll. The 26-year-old was a very good scorer out of the action the past 2 seasons in Sacramento. This season, he's been a fantastic one, ranking in the 98th percentile on a per possession basis, and his offensive arsenal makes him very deadly out of this action. This starts with Domantas Sabonis getting the ball to Monk and then setting a quick screen. Monk dribbles off the pick here and is now isolated against a very good perimeter defender in Nikhil Alexander Walker. Though as he starts driving, look at the separation Monk creates with the crossover here. He has his defender spinning, which leads to him creating space on the shot that he ends up knocking down. So far this year, Monk has been incredibly efficient on shots 3 to 10 feet from the basket, converting a career best 59% of his attempts. Given his ability to get downhill, this also makes him tough to stop out of pick and roll. Here, after initially backing down his defender, Monk utilizes the Sabonis screen. As a result, he now has a step on his defender, though as he goes into his shot against an opposing big, this doesn't look like one that has much of a chance of going in. The Monk shows a fantastic blend of body control and touch to knock down the floater and draw the foul. The other dangerous thing with Monk out of pick and roll is he's also very good at creating for teammates out of the action, where he ranks in the 97th percentile on a per possession basis. In some instances, he does this without even being credited with the assist. From that same Spurs game, Monk operates out of pick and roll as Sabonis sets a quick slip screen, though that slip forces the Spurs to scramble. Now, as Monk drives downhill, he has his initial defender and Sabonis' defender on him, while Jeremy Sohan has to rotate away from De'Aaron Fox to stick with Sabonis. Realizing this, Monk kicks it out to an open Fox, which now forces another defender to scramble, and Fox makes the extra pass to DeMar DeRozan, who knocks down the open corner three. Monk has also shown a nice two-man game with Sabonis, creating looks for him out of the action. Here Monk starts on the perimeter versus Trae Young as Sabonis sets the screen, though Sabonis' quick slip creates a problem for the defense. While Young works through the screen, Onyeka Okongwu is also focused on Monk, as he's always a threat to attempt a floater or a pull-up jumper here. Instead, he makes a slick pass to Sabonis that leads to an easy layup. The Kings once again are incorporating handoffs at the highest rate in the NBA, and Monk is having his most efficient season scoring off them, ranking in the 76th percentile on a per possession basis. Though he's dangerous out of this action, as he can utilize it to create for himself and others. In this instance, Monk starts with the ball before passing it to Sabonis and instantly works his way towards the ball. Though Sabonis this far out also brings Jaren Jackson out to the perimeter. Now, as Monk receives the handoff, look at all the space he has to operate getting downhill with his defender working through a screen and Jackson on the perimeter. Not surprisingly, the dynamic Monk gets downhill and makes the reverse layup through contact. A few minutes later in that same game, the Kings throw an entry pass from the sideline to Sabonis, who again hands it off to Monk. With both defenders keyed in on Monk, it appears he's going to go to his right and potentially utilize a screen. Instead, he fakes them out with a crossover and starts moving downhill. Though as a result, Sabonis is now wide open at the top of the key. Monk finds him, and Sabonis makes the Grizzlies pay, knocking down the open triple. Monk has always been a dangerous shooter from three, and while he doesn't get a ton of open looks off the catch, he's certainly making the most of them. So far this season, he's knocked down 57% of his threes off the catch that are considered unguarded, though he can get these shots in a variety of ways. Here Monk starts on the right wing, but moves his way to just right of the paint, where it appears he's going to set a screen for Keon Ellis. though Ellis starts cutting baseline, which also draws Monk's defender, and that's when he gets to work. The guard quickly changes direction to relocate and utilize the Keegan Murray screen. By the time Monk's defender gets back into the play, it's too late as he knocks down the wide open three. Despite the Kings currently sitting 12th in the Western Conference, it's worth noting the team has played their best basketball when Monk is on the floor. So far this season, there have been 63 four-man lineups across the NBA that have played 200 or more minutes together. Of the lineups that qualify, the Kings have two of the top 8 best lineups in terms of net rating, and they both involve Monk. The team inserted Monk into the starting lineup 5 games ago, and he's responded well to the new role where his shot making and playmaking have been on display. It's also worth noting two of the Kings' premier shooters have uncharacteristically struggled from 3 to start the year, and if they get back on track while Monk continues this level of play, the team figures to be very competitive down the stretch as they make a push for the postseason. If you made it this far, thank you. And if you enjoyed the video, don't hesitate to like and subscribe to stay up to date on my basketball analysis throughout the 2024-25 season.